There we go. There we go. I was a little bit too excited. So there's a bunch of components that I don't have, but I already put my RAM and my next step was to install the brackets for my CPU cooler. I bought the trusty NH D15. I don't know if you that sexy boy. I hope it's gonna fit. I especially took a low profile memory because I wanted to be sure to be able to run it. And it's my first time buying a Noctua. So I bought another fan for the case, like a big boy one, because why not? And yes, oh yeah, and the component that I have is the B550M Steel Legend ASRock, because it was cheap. I bought it for $100 Canadian, so not too shabby. And yeah, I wanted I know they had that smaller one, but I wanted the optical whatever the name it is. And that's it. It was the only reason, because there was another one a little bit cheaper with 2.5 gig network, and that I wanted too. And that's it. It was the only reason. The Wi-Fi card is cool, so I can have Bluetooth. And yes. That's it. That's it. And for the case, I bought another good price on Newegg. It was with tax $80 for the 3000D Airflow, the Corsair. I have another Corsair, and I don't know. I'm satisfied, I guess. I don't really care. It's just it was black and with a lot of airflow, so I'm like, it's gonna fit with what I want. And it was cheap because I love the Fractal North. It would be that was the style that I wanted, but it's like 3 times the price, and I'm like, what the fuck? For a USB-C on top, and the mesh is cool though, but I'll change it if I have the money for it. Yes. So, okay, what do I want to do? It says on AM4, if completely issue have set clearance with motherboard heatsink, please choose the standard position. Yeah, but it's not in the same direction. Yeah, mine is sideways. Not that way. Mine is that way. Alright. I guess it's gonna be standard. So remove this, put those little boys. Another thing that I wanted to buy, but it's expensive. It's a luxury item. It's the LTT store screwdriver, Noctua or whatever. The Noctua, but not the beige one, the brown one. Brown is great. Brown is amazing. It's the best color ever. Brown eyes is the shit. Wood, it's cool. Leather. I'm a leather boy, so I like that. Coffee is a great color. It's just cool. And I like cool stuff. So I go for brown. Cows. I don't know why I said that. Chocolate milk. Does it look centered? Does the 7mm would change that, or it would be too much? It would be too much. It would be too much. Yeah, 7mm would be too much. And do I need other stuff? Oh, I didn't look if it had the back plate. Because it says having a backplate. I guess it has one. Just just a little bit. Oh, you got fish. What does it do? Does it have a backplate? It does. LTTstore.com. Okay, I watched too much of Linus Tech Tip. But for real, Linus, if you have a surplus of brown screwdriver, I don't know when I would use it, because I don't build enough like computer or stuff like that. I bought in one of your videos you had a how does it called, like the pencil that solder stuff, whatever it is, but it was USB-C with a small company or I forgot, but it was really cool. And well, I bought 2 of those because I had like a big one, and it wasn't mine. It was it wasn't mine. And I bought 2 of those, and I didn't use it, but I'm still like, each time I'm looking at it, like, yeah, that's cool. And it's been like 5 months, and yeah. Oh shit! I broke my chair. No. That sucks. It was a cheapo one anyway, but fuck. No! Oh man. Alright. My weak body is too strong. Alright. That sucks. Well, if someone oh no. Fuck. Alright. There's no other step, because what I'm talking about, installing the CPU cooler. Yeah, I'm not ready yet because my CPU is in my other computer, the one that it's running the stream, and yeah. All right, refer to the steps 6 and 7. All right. What? What was I talking about? Fuck, I think I cut myself. Ah. Because there's a fucking plastic part. Alright, well. Please first take off the center fan as well. Makes sense because it would be difficult to screw it. Reattach the fan and optionally install the second fan in gray using supply steel clip. Ah, so it doesn't need to go there. So I could put it in my. On my case. So I have more fan flow. That's cool. I think that was one. Well, it was one of my plan to do that too, because the NHD15S, I think it was like the same but one less fan. It was like $9 less. So I'm like, shit, I'll just grab the big boy one and have two fans for $9. A fan for $9. It was a 140 millimeters. It's not a bad price for a great one. I think I'm old. It's a big boy one, so I just want to be sure that it's not too much, but just enough. All right. So don't need that for now. Who's that? Low noise adapter, Y cable, and a low noise adapter. 4 and 4. Eh? Oh, it's a Noctua sticker! A metal one. I love it. I'm a whore for that shit. Magnet, metal, leather. It's all fucking cool. It's so cool! And sticker, but like cool one. I bought leather from a Canadian company, OA Leather. Pretty cool. And they always put like one sticker and stuff like that, but recently they have like a new sticker and it's like Gus approve, and it's the face of, I guess, their dog. Pretty nice. It's cute. So I'm in that type of stuff. So cool. Is there thing what I'm supposed to do with those? Okay. Use heatsink with the serial film, best company model, Connect the fan to the motherboard CPU fan header. If necessary, use the supplied NA Y splitter cable. Connect both fan in one header fan. CPU fan. I have 2 of those. I don't need the splitter. can use this plater for... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's so cool. Little pause. Yeah, that's the beat. There, well, on my phone I have it. I have it. Guess approved. It was so cool, so I stick it on my phone. I gotta feel so, you know what you mean. I don't want to put that. So I guess it's the same accelerator, step, outlet, inner, anterior pad. This is this. I have a cable, a cable. So I have two in the front. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Okay. So, the next step is I don't know what to do. I know people put the CPU. Well, I don't need this anymore. Shit, I spent $10. And I think I already have one too. And the Noctua one. But I feel like I trust more Noctua. I don't know. Noctua is great. Never use any product, but they're great. Okay. This is done. So I'll probably remove this and put the fans in my case. So I'll remove this. Come with me, little boy. Big boy. Beautiful boy? Yes. Just grab that. Grab that too. Une chance que c'est quand même léger. Bang bang. want to squish the cable. I squish my fingers though. Okay. So I can remove this. Now you see absolutely nothing. Yeah, you don't see nothing, you see fuck all. Alright. I'll remove this so it's gonna be a little bit more light. Oops. Alright. Okay, nothing stuck under. Ooh. I got a feels like. Okay, I'm gonna remove the cardboard that I put under my desk because I was like, it's smart to keep it safe and whatever, but it's a little bit dumb at the same time. Alright. Ooh. If I had an LTDstore.com, it would be. Am I twisty, lefty twist? Yes, I am. That's kind of a hard screw. And it's not magnetic. The real only important thing is to not strip any goddamn screws. Shit. I'm gonna strip it. Oh, no. Eh. Now it's not stripped. This is It's eating itself. What the fuck? All right. So this is. Oh, there's a little pry thing that's. Can I unpry it? But that's too hard. This is too hard. What the fuck? Do I have something that I can pry it to? Unpry it? Because I don't want to fuck the cable. Ooh. Alright. Alright. Okay. What? Does it fit though? Before I whatever the name is, unravel it. Oh yes, it does, baby. One more fan to put whatever I want. Alright, let's open the fan. Fan. Ooh. There's something in this? Hey, what the fuck is happening? Ooh. That's cool. The book's cool. It talked about the technology, how awesome or whatever it is. What is it? Version 1 versus version 2. Airflow. We like good airflow. Fan and airflow without flow acceleration channel. Makes sense. So the little fins. For anti-vibration mount. What's the 4 screw mount? Makes sense because I need some. And behind it's all languages. Ventilateur, garantie, conducteur 6 ans, blablabla. Alright. Cool box for a good presentation, but goes in recycling. Alright, what's this? Installation, yes. Installing on a heatsink radiator. Other use custom finding as a case fan. Other use proprietary clip system. Supply mounting screw and silicone anti-vibration mount in order to install. So you put both, or you only put you have screws, but it's the screw that you put, or it's the anti-vibration one? You put both? No, the connector. Mama. Right. And which side which? Like this? Or like this? Oh my god. I think I'm stupid. So it goes on the 41? Okay. So the little mark is to say which side the air goes in and the air goes out. So it would be that way. So you see Noctua from the outside? Is that it? Use the mechanic. If necessary, can remove integration pads. No, I want those. Those are great.
That's a big old dice.
Okay, so let's see if it's written which side the airs goes in. Well, it's just a guess with the design. So the air goes in. Okay, so outside. So outside is the air that goes in. Alright. Alright. Ah, shit. Là, il y a des flèches derrière. Je comprends plus rien. Under. And the air doesn't make sense. Because I have other. What the fuck? Alright. Because inside. I don't know if you see it. There's some graphics. So I guess it's this, but the graphics inside doesn't fit with the graphic inside. That's just all a bunch of little triangle, and the graphics this explaining the flow of air. So you want this, so it push inside. Right? Wait a minute. Am I stupid? Was I? Est-ce que je chiale pour chialer pour fuck all? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm the stupid one. I was like, oh shit, that sucks. That's not in the right direction and stuff like that and blah blah blah. And well, I'm the stupid one. I am the stupid one. Come on. Just go in. Come on, little baby boy. Come on. Is it the right screws? They feel a bit big. Those ones look a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. Let's compare it. They are really similar. But they look like they are kind of that. Kinda. I don't know. There's a groove in it. So we'll see if it's easier. Oh no, it's the same. Oops. Oh, that's a little bit easier. Okay. I'll be back. All right. Well, I'll keep one of those. No, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, no. I'll take all Noctua screw. For the other one, I have the anti-shaking something. Oh. Oh. It's not easy when you don't see. What if I remove that garbage? There you go. Is it straight? Look like it. Okay, this one's gonna suck.
Now it's stuck.
Where did it fall? Huh?
I lost one. All right. All right, it's okay. Oops. No. Please don't hurt the fan. That's tight. That's too tight. Because I can't move it anymore. There we go. Ah, okay, I can move it like this. Oh yeah, I can. I'll put it. This good. What do you do? Where is the other? This stuck in something like this. We lost it. It doesn't make sense. Oh, I hear you. Oh, oh. Good morning. Oh, turn the other way. So the back one makes sense. I'll add the other one under. Whoops. But you don't see, you see nothing. Let's push a little bit of stuff. Put the hammer away. Ah, you see a little bit butter. Yes. Let's take the other hand for that. LTTstore.com. Probably better than what the fuck am I using now. Not against you, Noctua. Thank you to provide a kind of screw in your package. But yes, but yes. Yeah, they are self-tap. Alright. That's one. Okay. Tight enough. This one is tight enough. Nothing's moving. And it's turning. That's what I wanted. This one, I don't need more. Like 2 exhausts? I don't know, man, how flow works. Now for this one, the one that came with the boy, with the big boy, I'll use it too. and I want it inside too, so this turn there goes there. It would make sense like this. I don't have. Oh no! Where'd I put it? I can't put two. Because they both need this one. Oh no. Oh no. Or it needs to be down there. But this is gonna go in my power supply. What the fuck? My power supply doesn't need cool down. I want it tight. I want it there. And to do that, I need to scooch quite a lot. Like I need to scooch. Yeah, it doesn't fit. What the fuck? Or one inside and one outside. One outside and one inside. Now they can be like this. But I'm sure it's gonna fuck everything up because of the wind. They won't turn at the same time. Oh man. And this doesn't fit. If I put higher, if I put it higher, the one at the bottom doesn't do shit. Oh no. What do I do? What do I do? Because the small one too needs to go the smaller one too needs to go. It won't fit because I have the same problem there. Alright. Alright. Or I have the small one at the top. The middle is a Noctua fan. Would it fit? Would it fit? So it's like this. Well, kind of like this. And this one. That's what the fuck am I doing? Let's put it down. Alright. So this one would be aligned with the top of this one. And this one would be too far. Okay, so it doesn't fit too. Or the second one, it's way down there. Let's look at the internet. Um, optimum air flow PC. How to optimize your case airflow. Common respect when making your PC fan. Yes, it's all me.
This is the remote control. Oh, and in this video,
Let's look, but on the computer because she. Alright. So, oop. Yeah, okay, it's this one. Alright. Let's put out this one, put out this. Hop. YouTube. Yes. Alright. Let's look at and then later this one too. I like this one too. Power, yes. This one too. This one too. Alright, but the important one is optimum airflow PC. Yes. Configuration optimale. Yeah, but this one's. I think this one is a good one. I don't know. I guess yes. Why is it in French? What the fuck? More fan worst. Well, to the store. Let's go.
This video was supposed to be so simple. How much better is it to go from a solid front panel to a mesh front panel when you've got high-end, power-hungry, hot components? But then we got some really anomalous data. How could adding Noctua fans all over our mesh case possibly put it in a position where our GPU is running at the same temperatures as this here hotbox? The only way to find out is to use our new smoke machine. Hit me with the smoke, Poof! Versus solid front panels. We
Yes.
turned to the NZXT H510, a case that was notorious for looking great, but having very poor ventilation. Now, to their credit, NZXT did listen and gave us the H510 Flow, which is the exact same case, just
Yeah,
with
but I
front
want
panel.
science.
Should be
Dummy
fine, right?
GPU
Just, drill some
gaming.
sweet speed holes and bang,
Smoke.
boom. Look at our smoke test.
Yes.
With our stock fan setup, it's not so bad. Air gets pulled in, wafts all around our components with a good chunk getting pulled into our CPU cooler and some circulating around our GPU, then it gets exhausted out the back. It's clear now, though, that part of our problem is this huge graphics card in such a small case. It's almost right up against our fans, and you can see that the air gets pulled in and hits a wall, causing turbulence. When we swapped to our Noctuas, we thought, wow, these things are so quiet. We could spin them faster while maintaining the same noise level. But get this, at such a high RPM, the turbulence becomes even worse, and we got small pockets of air in front of and underneath the GPU that were just recirculating, being heated up multiple times before going anywhere. You can see our CPU cooler is still getting plenty of fresh air, so it's fine, better than before even. But it's pushed right up against our 3090. Not quite touching, but not much of a gap for air to pass through either. So almost nothing is able to circulate around the GPU's backplate. More fans, more better though, right? We certainly thought so. But since now we have all this air intake, but no extra exhaust, there's only one spot for a fan on the top of the H510, and good luck getting a regular thickness one up there with our motherboard. All this extra front fan ends up doing is putting even more pressure on the top stream. And since it's blowing too fast for our CPU cooler to keep up with, we also get some turbulence at the top front of the case where air cycles around for a bit before it can be vented out. Anything trying to come up from the bottom is instead constantly pushed toward the back. So In a nutshell, you can pull in all the air you want, but as the air heats up inside your case. Obviously, there are a ton of other fan configurations, cases, and hardware to examine, so make sure tiny strip on the side for airflow. But it really was a huge difference. Look how little air we suck in through these side vents, even with our intake-heavy configuration. Even when we blasted our fogger more directly at the side vent, it hardly helped. So a mesh front panel at this point seems pretty obvious. But PC building is often about balance and your own personal preference. The more
Okay, but I didn't learn anything.
I talked about fans recently. Most recently, those really cheap Antec fans that were, and when I say cheap, I don't mean like build quality, although they were kind of cheapish. 5 fans for $20, and I told you guys you need to put them in your case and fill in as many fan slots as possible. And then I also said in that video they need to start talking about airflow optimization, which is something I don't think I've talked about since we have more air pressure inside the case than we have outside of it. So what's going to happen is, as the air is moving in, it's going to escape through every crack and crevice that it can. That means is the fans that are moving the air out of the chassis are not moving the air as fast as it's entering. Now, when we say move the air, we're referring to cubic foot per minute. Kind of funny. People don't like feet. They like meters. But apparently the official fan measurement is cubic foot per minute. Let that one sink in, world. You guys can write me or hate mail to nick@jsusense.com. It's nic@jsusense.com. Anyway, moving forward, you can optimize your airflow in a couple of different ways. Ideally, equal exchange of air pressure, air in, air out, is good because what's going to happen is that means your fans are actually directing the air that you want them to go. So like we talked about, positive pressure means that the fans that are bringing air in, which are referred to as intake fans, the exhaust fans, and I'm highlighting the word exhaust, and we're writing it across the screen, exhaust, because of the amount of people I get writing me saying, how many outtake fans should I have? It's not an outtake, it's an exhaust. But the exhaust fans are obviously responsible for moving the air out of the chassis. But if you have more air coming in than you have airflow for exhaust, CFM, as I already went on a side rant about, then you get what's called positive pressure. So where does that extra air go? Well, it's gonna go anywhere there's extra places for it to escape. So in this case, you can see our little IO covers here are ventilated. Not a lot, but ventilation. Some air will escape out there. If you don't have all the fans, say, in the top of your case occupied, so you can see in the top here, we have full vent on top, but if we only had, say, one exhaust fan on the top, anywhere that there's not a fan or just a gap is also a place where air will escape. That's not necessarily a bad thing because of the fact that positive pressure means you know you're bringing in more air than the case can get rid of in a certain amount of time. So you know you've fully just crammed as much air in your system as you can. Now for optimized cooling, you want to be able to exchange the air as fast as possible, which means whatever the volume is of your case, you want to take that full volume of air and replace it with cool air as fast as possible. If your fans are moving extra slow, whether it's positive pressure, negative pressure, neutral pressure, if they're moving extra slow, the air that's in here has time to heat up. As the air heats up, your components will heat up with it in a 1-to-1 ratio. So 1 C of ambient, and ambient in this case being what is the air outside of the component. So outside of the CPU, outside of the GPU, outside of the cooler, if it comes up 1 degree inside this case, your components and their cooling capacity will also increase.
So in my case, I have in, I have an out. I could replace the out for another Noctua, so it would be the same. And I can put the small black one at the bottom here. It would make sense. So I have one small here, pushing air in. I have the big boy one there, and I have the small one here. So I have a GPU fan, this one I have the one here to just push the air. I have an exhaust for But is it too much? Because the air on the GPU goes up. So return goes up, push on the side or on the CPU cooler. So I want here the best, like the straight up stuff, right? Does it make sense? I think it does. Okay, it does. So, bottom one, push air, less fast to, because it's bottom, because I'm pretty sure it's going to create turbulence. Because if I put it in front bottom, I have the hard drive there. So it's a wall, basically. So at the bottom, the air is gonna stay. Try to push it. Put up, like just leak a little bit everywhere, and the whatever is not gonna change. Or I put too small in front. It's the one that I need. I need the more air, more better. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be a good plan. Noctua, and I have the Noctua fan there, so it's gonna be a straight path. Exhaust. Bottom to just try to push new air in. So the GPU air goes up, stick in this, and goes out there. I guess it's a plan. Well, it's a plan. A good one? Maybe, I don't know. And you don't see, but when I do that, tongue is out. Tongue is out, baby. What's this? Why there's a big hole there? I don't understand. Is it just a... if I had a liquid cooler, maybe? But I have all this space there. I have all the space in front. How can I push it up there, but I have no place? So it has to go there. Well, still new air. Right? Do I have a manual? I don't have the case manual. Because I think it would be practical to see why I have such a big space there. Because it looks like I can add something, but it doesn't make sense. And it's not gonna it's hard as fuck because I have no space to do nothing there. So I have to put the fan inside if I want to screw it. So I just want to see what the fuck is supposed to be there. All right. It's the Corsair 3000D test. Why not? Oh. Well, I did it. Why wasn't customer returns at all? Oh. Was that a bad choice? I had no clue I'd received this case. Liquid and Ireland. Corsair met another. But with space for 304. Huh? 304 what? So it's disqualified for being a, but it's basically a wide as old mid tower, but under half the length. So we have. Okay, why 2 thumbs down?
After reviewing the Corsair
Yeah, tell me.
4000D last week, it finally made sense to me why it was being so heavily recommended, why everyone was buying it, why it's just so popular, and I feel like I summed it up perfectly with just one sentence. This feels like a premium case that has had some expensive extras removed, as opposed to a cheap case with a load of RGB fans added to bump up that price. The Corsair 3000D, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. Unfortunately, this is a cheap case with some nice RGB fans. Or is it in fact somewhere in between? It was once
I don't have RGB, so
a premium case
It's
that
just
had
cheap.
things removed, but then Corsair thought,
Hey, let's remove even more stuff and sell it at the same price with a new name.
at the very least, if you take anything from this video, it is to check out my video all about the 4000D first before making your purchase. And during this review of the Corsair 3000D, I'll be pointing out many reasons why. The Corsair 3000D, for all intents and purposes, is a Corsair 4000D. It's literally the same chassis, but Corsair has taken nearly everything we loved about the 4000D, and from what I can see, quite literally just thrown it away. Removable SSD caddies? Gone. Interior cable bar? Gone. Front USB-C port? Gone. Vertical GPU mount? Gone. Cable management channel? Gone. Easy to remove front panel and dust filter? Gone. Tiny bit of plastic trim at the front that covers your hard drives? Gone. Side panels that stay clicked in without thumb screws? Gone. Honestly, we're not off to a good start here. Of course, there are plenty of other great case options around the £100 mark, other than the 2 options I've mentioned from Corsair. The Lancool 216 from Lee & Lee, the NZXT H5 Flow, the Fractal...
yeah, in pounds, what is multiplied by 2 for US and fucking multiplied by 2 for Canadian, so no, it's 80 Canadian bucks.
Some of these cases have unique features to make building easier, like removable panels or special fans directing air at the GPU.
Oh.
The Corsair 3000D RGB Airflow has none of these features, and honestly, I didn't even want to build in it after taking it out of the box and just seeing everything 3000D, as the dimensions of frame are
Yeah, but
identical to the
is the airflow good?
4000D. The only difference being is that the 3000D is 9mm longer at 462mm versus 453mm on the 4000D. Likely due to that all-new design on the front panel. The updated look is fine, but it's definitely cheaper, with the perimeter of the front panel being completely plastic, then the middle section is the steel we expect to see. One massive thing I don't like is that the dust filter on the front isn't removable. Well, easily removable. You can't just slide it out or pop it out and clean it. The mesh sheet is clamped all the way around that perimeter. I'm really disappointed to see this, as I can picture somebody trying to give it a good clean, look at the included AR120, but they don't use their typical proprietary connector or a Commander Pro. They just connect to your motherboard like any normal fan would do. They do include a splitter for the RGB connections, but not for the PWM.
I don't care.
As from Corsair, if companies like Antec or Lian Li can include them in cheaper cases, why can't a mega company like Corsair do it? Looking at the rest of the case, it's all pretty familiar. We have a removable dust filter at the bottom of the case and the magnetic one up top. This filter is
I have exactly the same thing on my
exactly the same as the one on the
on my
4000D. So
old Corsair. It looked quite the same. Same removable disc. It's the same button, but I know it's 3.2 USB. The power button in the refresh one is reversed, so it's gonna fuck me up when I want to open it. But
does affect the thermals negatively, so do bear that in mind. In front of that filter, we have our power and reset switches, as well as the familiar headphone and microphone combo with the thumb screws, which is nice. Fortunately, no super cheap one-time use covers that you have to snap off. Where the vertical GPU slots were on the 4000D, we now just have a solid piece of steel replacing that. If I'm honest, I don't really think losing the slots is really a big deal, as the placement was too close to the glass anyway. But I did like the added benefit of having more of that triangular mesh to allow heat to easily disperse. Let's move inside the 3000D and get a better look at what's going on here. Getting inside is fairly straightforward. There's literally nothing here. There's no cable bar to subtly hide the cables as they wrap around the side of the motherboard tray, nor has it been replaced with some cheap cable grommets. From the front, the whole of the inside just looks unfinished or incomplete.
it's
It looks like a
closed.
game
Okay, no, I just want. Is it
I describe
usable?
the 4000D as simple yet effective. But if we move around to the back of the motherboard, radiator support, maximum cooler length are all concerned, they're all identical to the 4000D. Because, well, it's literally the same case. I'll have them all on over that one. So I guess we need to turn our heads to performance. And this is where the 3000D finally makes sense. If I'm honest, I wish I had the base non-RGB version as well, or just a pair of SP120 Elite fans to recreate how that stacks up. But I don't, and I don't want to spend £26 on two rather underwhelming fans to try it out. So what we can compare is how well the 3000D RGB airflow compares in a variety of different tests, and then see how they compare to the 4000D airflow.
Is it two exhausts there?
Into it.
At the
After a
top.
15-minute stress test with all the fans at 100%, the CPU maxed out at 76.7 degrees and a GPU topped out at 60 degrees. Adding a Corsair ML120 fan to the rear for exhaust saw our CPU drop by 1.1 degrees and our GPU by 0.6 degrees. Removing the top dust filter,
So they have air that pushing out at the
that
top.
did see our CPU hit a maximum of 75.2 degrees and the GPU hit 59.7 degrees. So if we have a 120mm fan equipped for exhaust and remove that top dust filter, we get the best of both worlds, with our CPU topping out at 74.2 degrees and our GPU at 59.1. Overall, we dropped our CPU temperatures by 2.5 degrees, but the GPU is only about a single degree cooler. Honestly, these are pretty good results, likely down to how well the AR120 fans perform. They offer similar CF cooler. Also, in a 3000D. One major downside to this though is the noise that these fans make. They're not just loud, they sound horrible at maximum RPM. It doesn't sound like a constant flow of air. It's a
So I want it slow. Alright.
To conclude, I think the 3000D RGB airflow is a truly average case that you really shouldn't buy.
Yeah, I don't care. Just because of the price. So cheap, there's cool air, but I want the inside. Show me the inside, please. Radiator, I don't care. What's that hole? Why do I have a hole there? Where's the... Okay. Yes, front panel. Okay, I don't have that. Air. But what's the hole? There's a big hole. What's the hole for? Now in your hand. Okay. But sell me Yes, what's this? I don't care. 2 stars straight driver. Yes, so it's the big hole there I want. A big hole. Oh my god. Oh my god. Tempered glass, I don't care. I don't see it. I don't see my computer. I don't care, man. I don't care, man. I just want to understand. So I can have good airflow there. Okay, so my plan, I think, is change that fan for it won't fit. Yet it won't fit. All right, new plan. Keep this one. Knock to at the top. Or knock to at the bottom. At the bottom and this one there. So big in, small out. Oh, why is it so complicated, man? All right. I didn't eat, and it's 8. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Would it fit? Would it fit though? Absolutely. Maybe. Oh, that weight would. Oh. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll be right back for nobody watching. But let's go, baby. Okay. So I thought of oops, probably wrong one. Yes. No. Okay, that's way wronger. All right. So my plan is I changed plan. So what I think is well, let's go with the side view. I'll put the two Noctua fan at the front. So it's gonna be one there, and it's gonna be right straight, like a straight way. And the other one, since it needs to be at the bottom, well, I won't have the same problem as Linus, where the fan, where the air and the fan push the air, split in two and keep the air like stagnant there, since it's gonna be at the bottom. So the worst that can happen is the air coming in. Like if I split the fan in half of the fan is gonna push air at the bottom, so a little bit will go through there. It's gonna circle here and probably being pushed up, and since the top of the air is gonna be there, or it's gonna circle there, push up, stay here, being pushed. So I don't know, because I can put two small fan there, and since the CPU fan it's just gonna be a straight way, so I thought, oh, maybe it's a good idea, but I prefer to have a bigger one, so the GPU will be at the, I guess, a better temperature, because the small fan is just like, it's gonna push air there, and it's just gonna leak like a fart, just like, instead of having a bigger fan push half the air straight up, having a little bit of whatever it's called, turbulence here. So it's gonna stay leak a little bit everywhere. It's okay, I don't mind. Do I mind? Or I have a straight path of Noctua fan. Yeah, because I have that Noctua fan in the middle. So the problem is with that Noctua fan is because I have the cooler in the middle. So is gonna be hard to push everything, right? So the more airflow there, the more better it is. And if this is better, probably the air. Nah, yeah, okay. I'll keep the small one. Small one, Noctua, Corsair. That's my plan. But for now, let's switch a little bit, because that's weird looking up and yep. All right. Okay. So this is my plan. Yes. And this is me eating. Some good Chinese. What? Why my GPU? Wow. Both are the same. This is what I have currently. I have a liquid cooler here, like a deep cool, whatever the company is, deep cooler or whatever. So it's a small radiator with two fans here, one exhaust, and I think one top two. And I even think that this is not an exhaust, this is an in. So I only have one exhaust. But that would be crazy, man. Well, yeah. I won't touch it because it worked well. But yeah. All right. All right. Other than that, what's this one? Let's,
Something popped up the other day, and for some reason, it's a bit of a head scratcher. Corsair is not talking about this case at all. This is the brand new. My rib. There's a pre-installed magnetic dust filter that's on the top of the case.
yeah, I'm curious again.
Which is easily. As far as PSU support, the 3000D supports power supply.
So it's space so I can move this,
up
right?
to 220 millimeters long. However, if you remove this hard disk case at the bottom of the case, you can increase the maximum length as well. But general rule of thumb, 220 if you're not removing that hard disk cage. You've got the two 3.5-inch bays down the bottom. You can also do 2.5-inch drives on the sleds down here as well. You can also see that it's got the standard Corsair mounting here and here for two more 2.5-inch drives, and there's two more on the inside of the case as well. However, this case doesn't include any of the sleds to mount drives back there. I think they've not included those to keep the cost down considerably. For cable management and cable routing, you've got a whole bunch of tie-down points along the top edge of the motherboard tray. There's also tie-down
So it's to move this. At the moment, I have one M.2 because I'm talking about my new computer. I don't know if I want to put an hard drive because what I currently have is one M.2, one SSD, and one hard drive. So I don't know if I want to move this because I want to keep my old computer as maybe a NAS or like an entertainment system slash gaming, I guess, but I'm not sure if it can because I'll put my old CPU that is a Ryzen 1700X and the GPU that I have is a 650 Ti to replace in that. So I don't know if I could play big games, but I still have 32 RAMs. Yeah, no, it's more info entertainment system. All right. So maybe not as much. So probably M2. I'll keep the hard drive in mind. One SSD. I'll probably steal the other quick whatever it's called. On the new one. If it's fit, because it's what's been 10 years that I have it. Okay. Well, still with the airflow. What the fuck? What's GPU support? What's that big boy? Okay, whatever. Case right in. Let's build things. Dynamic mode. Thermal. Don't care. Cable management. All right. It's just that all right. I don't think it's will be a big issue.
1C. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. It's kind of neat how that works out. So we want to be able to exchange that air as quick as possible. Now, when we talk about airflow optimization, realistically, if we were able to hook like 2 leaf blowers up to this that didn't blow warm air because they're compressed air, that would be the best because of the fact that you'd have a huge exchange of air. The problem is it would also be the noisiest. So you're going to have to balance based on your noise taste as well. That's why more often than not, having as many fans in your system but turning at a slower speed will reduce noise but keep the airflow volume or the CFM or the exchange of air rate higher than if they were running less fans at a higher RPM or even the same. What is neutral? Neutral is in between first and second. So neutral is when the air that's coming in is entering the system at the same rate the air is able to be exhausted. What you get with neutral usually is, that's kind of the preferred method, either positive or neutral. Now negative pressure is the opposite of positive pressure, and that's not just a polarity joke. If you have less air entering the case, then you have fans removing or exhausting air from the case. The air has to still be brought in somewhere. Those fans can't just say, well, we're not going to pull air from anywhere. I guess we don't have enough to exhaust. You would then create a vacuum, and that's not going to happen. So what we're going to end up doing here is pulling air in through all those same cracks and crevices at which positive pressure would have pushed the air out. Negative pressure will pull the air in because it is a slight vacuum. That's the only way it can pull air in. What you're also going to pull in with that is dust. Unless your chassis has a filter over every single gap, which isn't the case, you're going to find a higher dust buildup with negative pressure in your case than positive. Not only that, depending on where those gaps are, negative pressure could lead to overall higher temperatures in your volume. The delta is going to be depending on many, many factors. How big is the case? How many fans are in the case? How negative is it? How big are the gaps that are in there? Where is that negative air entering and exiting again? Here's an example. You can see this fan right here does not cover all of these gaps. So we have this honeycomb grill down here, which means this fan, ideally, actually right now it says an intake fan. I don't remember how or when we did that, but it says an intake fan. So if it was an exhaust, we could potentially be blowing air out, pulling it right back in through this vent below it, and just having the air circulate in a circle like this. Now, if the air is doing this, right, if it's just sitting there going out and back in like this in a circle, that air is not touching any of the components, so that means it's not benefiting you at all. All it's doing is supplying air from wherever it can get it because of physics. Some other things to note when it comes to airflow optimization. This chassis, as you can see, can fit 2 fans on top, either 2 120s or 2 140s, and it can fit a 120 on the back. Now that's 3 fans. So let's say we put 2 140s on the top and this 120 on the back. Well, we've got 2 140 intakes. Now, just looking at the fan sizes alone, that would mean that potentially this could be a negative pressure setup. Now, even though we do have the
Yo, what? Pressure setup, but huh? Okay. Because this one is oh wait.
Now that's 3 fans. So let's say we put 2 140s on the top and this 120 on the back. Well, we've got 2 140 intakes. Now, just looking at the fan sizes alone, that would mean that potentially this could be a negative pressure setup. Now, even though we do have ventilation on the front, we have no ventilation, or not ventilation, but mesh on the front. We do have mesh, which is going to slow down the airflow because it's got to overcome the pressure of going, and the pressure drop of going through all these tiny holes. And this is why mesh size has been such a discussion point over the last few years when it comes to case design. You take this off the top, Now you have a lot more airflow versus the giant slats, and you do this micro mesh, leading to a negative.
Because because the two up top are exhaust. So okay.
Pressured situation.
I'm done.
Just because you have more fans and more open airflow. People often forget about RPM. RPM is the true way to balance your airflow in your system, not just the number of fans. So we know that 140 millimeter fans move more volume of air. They're higher CFM fan, RPM per RPM with a 120, just because it's a bigger blade, which means a bigger surface area to be able to move the air. What we also know about 140s is the fact that they are lesser pressure optimized. So what you can do in a situation like this, take your fans, get fan splitters if you need them, or if you're running any sort of fan that has a controller like Lian Li fans, NZXT fans, Corsair fans, and start playing with the volume optimization through RPM. You would want your intake fans running at a higher RPM than your exhaust fans if they're having to overcome all of this mesh and stuff, and there's less of them, or even the same amount that you have exhaust fans, because your exhaust fans are pulling air from this open area inside the chassis. The intake fans are always going to be under the most resistance. Some cases are just poorly optimized with airflow at all when it comes to the front of the case. Solid tempered glass front panels have become a thing with small gaps around them to pull air in. If you think about all the directional changes the air has to make, it slows down the flow rate. You've got the micro mesh, like stuff like this, which you blow on it, you can barely feel any air going through it. My lungs can push a lot more pressure than any of these fans can. So you're going to have to start playing around with the optimization of your airflow based solely on RPM. Now, Jay, how can I do that? How do I optimize it? Well, there's a couple of ways that I've showed in the past that you can do this. Some folks like it, some folks don't. It can get messy. It won't hurt anything with your system if you don't do this a lot. But nothing will hurt using a stick of incense. You can get it off of Amazon, super, super cheap, a couple of bucks. You burn it, you hold it in front of your case, and you'll see the air enter. Okay, at that point, you're seeing the air go in, you know you're good. Sticking it inside your case at that point doesn't do anything, it doesn't matter. The air is gonna go where it's gonna go. What I start to do by checking which optimization I currently have with my fan airflow, and I'll even show like an 8-year-old video clip here, I start holding it around all the gaps. I would hold it right here in the rear where I've got this ventilation. If I put my incense stick in front of it and I see it pushing out, then I know I have positive pressure. If I see it pulling it in, I know I have negative pressure. If I see it just coming up normally, like normal convection, then I'll know I've got neutral pressure. Neutral's ideal, slightly positive is best, in my opinion. But I would start going all over the case. If I go underneath, like I hold it in front, and I see it going up in there.
Okay, so I'll probably change my second idea. We want positive pressure. With positive pressure, I have my big boy at the top. It's gonna push a lot of air, The problem is the GPU. The GPU will try to suck up air, and since this is closer, that's why probably on his demonstration it has some negative pressure here. But it's still fresh air for the GPU, right? This is bad. No negative pressure here. Here? So
What's the plan? Like you said, the fans at the front will have to pull more than the fan at the back. So, if I put my other big boy fan at the bottom, I'll have the two small fans, one there that it's staying there, the other at the top has an exhaust. I have the CPU cooler with the big fan. It's gonna push exhaust there, whatever. It's gonna push up, push straight up, straight. I have the GPU. The GPU suck air from the bottom. I have the power supply here. Just gonna grab air from the bottom. So the heat will come up. So this one would make sense to be the other Noctua fan to push as much air, even if it's slow, to just create a flow of air, even if it goes everywhere. So all the air just come from the front and goes in the back. Because the fan in the middle will work as much to push air too. I think this is the plan. So I'll put the other Noctua fan at the bottom and put the other at the top. Far back as I can because I don't want to lose the fresh air going out already. I don't want that. All right. I think this is what I call a plan. I think it makes sense. And
the system isn't on, that tells me we'd probably have negative. And the reason why I say system isn't on, because the power supply fan facing the bottom would pull air in through there.
yeah, exactly.
So that's something to keep in mind. But I would have the case all sealed up, by the way, when I'm doing that. Side panel has to be on for obvious reasons. This case right here would create no pressure. It would just be straight up neutral at that point because of the fact that
With a
this
bunch.
air is just gonna go wherever, this air is gonna pull from there. So incense is a cheap, easy way, one, to make your room smell nice for a little while, and two, there's not nearly enough of that burning fuel to get gunked up on your fans or make anything sticky. Just ask anyone that is like a habitual vaping in front of their system, how often they replace their fans, because believe it or not, that vape juice and the vapor alone will destroy fans pretty quickly. But I just wanted to make this video kind of talking about airflow because of the fact that I see a lot of discussions taking place whenever we talk about fans, but people never talk about RPM. RPM is king. You can use RPM to overcome any of the issues that you have with your chassis, maybe not being as airflow optimized. So intake fans should be running as fast as you can audibly stand, or come up with ramps, fan curves, obviously, so that when they're idle, they don't have to do much. When you start putting the system under load, they increase the air volume coming in. Then what you do is after you've set your intake fans where you want them, that is where you start adjusting the RPM of your exhaust fans to where as you're using your incense, you can take it to some of these vents right here that have no fans in front of them and find them slightly pushed out. So the smoke is barely moving away from it, but still climbing through convection. any airflow, even the smallest amount of airflow, overcomes convection. Convection is a very weak force. So if you have even the slightest amount of negative pressure in your case, the smoke will go into the vent. Positive pressure, a lot of positive pressure, it'll blow out violently from that vent. If the smoke's going in, you gotta turn up your intake RPM or slow down your exhaust RPM. If it's blowing out hard, slow down your intakes until it stops. And leave your exhaust where they are. Just slow down your intake, unless the exhausts aren't running at all, or they're running really low RPM. Slow down your intake until it starts to become
Big boy, front, small
something
in
we
the
haven't
back.
talked about in a while.
Makes sense.
But definitely food for thought. Now the same thing holds true if your chassis is one of those Lee and Lee vertical 011 dynamic types where the intakes are on the bottom. You're just gonna have an updraft type of airflow. So it's gonna pull in through the bottom, go up and exhaust out the top. It's the same exact principles that apply. It's just turned. It's the only difference. All right, guys.
All right.
It's been a while since we've done.
Makes sense. Big boy, small boy. Simple as that. But I still don't understand why I have such a big space there. Because I know, like I understand for the hard drive, but damn. I can put it inside. Oh no, I have the nipples. Nah, forget it. Okay, it's gonna be easy. Alright. Alright. Thank you. It's gonna be that's it. And thank you very much. Let's see you for yes, in the future. So see you next time with because it's late and I'll probably won't do much, and if I do, well, there was nobody anyway, so all right, thank you, bye bye.